doctor's office.
The drive-thru.
Test results.
The line at the supermarket.
A new job.
The bus stop.
To be older.
That first kiss.
And I am reply.
Graduation.
For him to call.
To be married.
To give birth.
Christmas morning. These are all things
we wait for.
I love to ride roller coasters, and it was a few years back when we went to the amusement park one summer. They had just premiered this brand new roller coaster that would take you of speeds of up to 70 plus miles an hour, and you would go to heights of above 350 feet. Pretty crazy, pretty intense. And of course, everyone wanted to ride it that summer, so the lines were extremely long, and we had a long wait, but we were going to ride this, and we were going to conquer this ride. And so we waited in line for a very long time. I think it was over 2 hours at least. The thing was, once we got to ride the ride, it was only like 30 seconds. So we waited in 2 hours to ride a 30-second ride. But here was the thing. It was the waiting and the anticipating that made the ride all the more special, because as we were watching this roller coaster just shoot up 350 feet at 70 plus miles an hour, that fear just began to fill my stomach, and I just began to almost feel sick and nauseous. And that's what made the ride even more special, because we were so fearful, but to be able to ride it and overcome that fear was really something special.
I remember when I was pregnant with our first child. It was an exciting time. I remember when we first took the pregnancy test and just waiting. That 2 minutes was the longest 2 minutes of my life, as I sat waiting for the 2 pink lines to appear. And then just the feeling of excitement when I first saw them, and just not knowing what was going to be ahead. And then the countdown began for what I thought would be 40 weeks of pregnancy. It was an exciting time. Your first child, you're not sure what's going on, and you can't wait for each new thing. It's exciting as you watch your body start to grow, and you have this life growing inside of you, and you have no idea if everything's okay or what really is going on in there until the 20-week mark, and you finally get to look inside and see the little heartbeat beating. And for us, we were able to find out exactly what we were having, and we found out we were having a boy. And I remember looking over at my husband and just the big grin on his face to be able to have our first child be a little boy to carry on our family name, and just feeling the excitement inside, and making even more real to us that it wasn't just a little thing inside anymore. It was a baby, and our baby had a name, and it just became really real that time. And I couldn't wait until my due date, and to get there and to be able to hold this baby in our arms.
Yeah.
After having my own baby, I think I really connect a lot more with Mary and the birth of Jesus. Being a mom, I know what it's like to be there and to have that anticipation of the 9 months, and putting myself in her shoes, I can't even imagine what it might have been like for her. She was a teenager. She was alone. She didn't have a family around her, and have friends that could tell her what to expect. And I can imagine the fear that was there. I had fear, and I had doctors there to help me along and tell me what to expect in the whole process. But for her, she was alone, and facing the ridicule of her family, of the townspeople, of all of her friends. I can't imagine what that would have felt like. I can imagine for her it was even more frightening, as she was there, just her and Joseph, as she brought Jesus into the world, and what it must have been like in this cold, freezing cold barn. I was in the warmth of a hospital room with warm blankets thrown upon me, and I was shivering, and the doctors were like, "Oh, let's put another blanket on." But Mary didn't have that. She was there in an animal stall. The smell, I can't even imagine. You feel sick anyway when you're giving birth, and having to put up with the smell of the animals and the cold night that she would have been bringing Jesus into. And what it must have felt like is she just waited for him and just waited to see exactly what this was going to be like, what the promise was that she had been given, and what all that entailed, the anticipation that both her and Joseph had.
Now there are numerous Old Testament prophecies that foretold the coming of Jesus, the coming of this Messiah. And so the Israelites, God's chosen people, they waited patiently for this Messiah, the Savior, to come. For 1,000+ years they waited. And at the end of this, there was 400 years of silence where God did not speak and did not reveal himself to them. 400 years until Jesus arrived on the scene.
So 8 days after the birth of Jesus, Mary and Joseph, his parents, took him to be consecrated at the temple. And there was this very old, wise, religious man there, a holy man named Simeon. And he was the man that was going to consecrate Jesus. And this is what he said when he saw the Messiah in his presence. He said this, "Lord, let me now die in peace, because I have actually seen your promise come true." And you can read about that in Luke chapter 2. This man was so filled with joy, he was ready to die with peace, because he had waited patiently, and his hope was fulfilled. Now imagine yourself doing a puzzle, putting a puzzle together, and with all the many pieces that you have, and you're organizing them out and beginning to sort them and put them together. You're putting this puzzle together, and you get to the end and you're missing one piece. You'd be devastated, because all of your work would be for naught, because you're missing that one piece. Now think of Simeon again. There was a missing puzzle piece in his life that he finally got to put in place, and that was the Messiah. Now think about your own life for a second. How many missing puzzle pieces do you have? We have this God-shaped hole within us that we try to fill with so many different things. Maybe it's material possessions or bad relationships, or just stuff that just does not really fulfill. We've got this missing puzzle piece inside of us that can only be filled by the Messiah. Now in Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6, the Messiah was referred to as the Prince of Peace. Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace. You see, we all have this missing piece inside of us, and it can only be filled by the Prince of Peace. Because that's what we all truly desire, isn't it? We don't like to be stressed out. We don't like to be just consumed and just so chaotically busy and just having no time for the important things in life. And the thing that really can fill us and provide us the fulfillment that we need is Jesus, is that Prince of Peace. And the neat thing about that is that peace comes in a gift. And we realize that special gift when we wait and we wait and we anticipate. It makes that gift all the more special. And that gift comes in the form of a baby.
A baby, they're warm, they're cuddly. A baby's sweet, they smell good. Everyone wants to hold a baby. They're loving, they're soft, they're humble, they're innocent, they're perfect. Jesus.
It's my desire that you'll find that missing puzzle piece, and that you'll embrace that which brings peace to your heart, to your soul, and to your mind, found only in Jesus.